What's going on, guys? It's Drew to Smash coming back at you. Thanks for all the support on the recent videos. Just want to give you guys a quick shout out before we get into the start of season 2. Hopefully you enjoyed season 1. Again, just to recap for you guys, we finished season 1 8-5 with a victory in the Tony the Tiger Bowl, hitting our goals hitting our goal for target wins for the season. We were undefeated against our rivals, 4-2 against the top 25, and then obviously our bowl victory there. So, very successful year one for us here in Buffs Dynasty. But with that, we're getting ready to kickstart off year two. Just so you guys know, did some off-screen work as far as setting up the recruiting board. Again, as we get into the bye weeks, I'll show you guys much more in depthly. But as we kickstart off year two, looking at redshirts. So Tyrone Moses, our quarterback that we brought in, we're not going to redshirt him. Obviously, we will not redshirt Trey House. However, we will be redshirting Cedric Young and Nick Butler, as well as Greg Walton. Offensive line, we will not be redshirting anybody there. Defensive line, same goes there. We will be redshirting Pete Ginn, as well as Mark Berg, and then nobody there. Then in the secondary, James Mays will receive a red shirt. Other than that, we're good. George Brown will get a red shirt as well, and then we'll red shirt Mario Robinson, as we have the Robinson brothers there back at the strong safety position. So, not too many red shirts. With how we are looking from kind of an overall perspective, I'm bringing these freshmen here, and they're getting an opportunity to play for the most part. So, but Tyrone Moses will be our backup quarterback to start the year. We'll give Brendan Lewis first shots to win that job. Then looking at our halfback, Trey House is the guy. And then we'll have our fullback, Jail Stacks, be his backup. Uh, yeah, Hankerson, I have zero desire to have him on the field this year. So, moving to our receiving core, we got Cole Dawson. He'll be our number one wide receiver as a true freshman. We got Chase Penry, and then Grant Page coming off a redshirt year will be our third receiver there. Eric Olson will be our top tight end with Caleb Faria number two once again. As far as our offensive line goes, we're going to just make sure that we have our kind of backup set in the way that I would like them to be. Oh yeah, just so that way we are all squared away and good to go. Now, as far as defensive line goes, Devin Grant will actually not be starting for us. We're going to start Alvin Williams. Grant and Evans will be the backups accordingly on our D line, but we got to play Gustav and Williams to get our best players out there on the field. We got Naeem Rodman. Yeah, we are going to start him. Just from the strength perspective as far as our nose guard goes, but Mike Miller will be getting in there plenty. As far as our linebacking crew is concerned, we will have Egan Carey as well as Isaac Hurtado starting there. Then we'll have Mr. Williams. Great name, by the way. In there at middle linebacker with Marvin Ham the second. Marvin Ham will be an interesting one, but huge regression this past off season, so not exactly sure what sort of role he will look to play for us. He is a 72 outside linebacker. Alright, we're going to have him be our backup right outside linebacker, and possibly just kind of rotate in. But he is a preseason All-American there, so but Derek Alexander will start there. Obviously, our huge freshman, Craig Williams, going to be a major impact player for us, hopefully, this season. But yeah, we're just Dylan Dixon and Trevor Woods will be our starting strong or free safeties there, and then Joe Robinson, backup striker there at the safety position. We're going to have Becker do all of our kicking. Our punter just is not good enough, frankly. Um, as far as the return game goes, it's going to be Victor Venn, our third string halfback. So that'll look to be our depth chart quickly as we go through there. So starting out week 1, per usual, we're going Rocky Mountain Showdown against Colorado State. Our buys will not be back to back in week 10 and 11, I can assure you that. We'll take a bye week 3. I think that'll be a good spot for us there. And then week 2, just take on Cincinnati. And we'll go to Cincinnati to play them. I think that'll be a great ranked matchup for us. Week 3 will be our bye, and then let's do a bye in week 10. And let's play UAB in Boulder for week 11. So we'll start the season at home at the Mile High in the Rocky Mountain Showdown. Then we'll play at Cincinnati, 13th ranked team in the country. We have our bye week, week 3. Then we play at home against 19th ranked Arizona State and at home against 12th ranked UCLA. On the road against Washington State and Arizona, back-to-back weeks at home against Cal, at USC. Bye week at home against UAB, at home against number 9 Oregon State, on the road at Oregon, and then we will finish the season at home against number 3 ranked Utah to start the season. So going to be a very, very difficult schedule for us. So with that, we're going to dive into the regular season here, and we'll go through a couple things to kind of put together the start of season 2 here. We'll go through the top 25 as well as kind of get things rolling from that perspective. So hope you guys are excited for season 2 as I am. Real quick, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're growing, baby. I'm very encouraged by what I'm seeing on the YouTubes, and again, my biggest thing is just providing content for you guys that you're enjoying. So but with that, let's start with the Heisman watch. So preseason favorite to win the Heisman is Travion Henderson, running back out of Ohio State. Jahmyr Gibbs, running back out of Alabama. Our quarterback, Brendan Lewis, after a good season, so happy there. Caleb Williams, quarterback at USC, and then Jalen Knighton, running back at Miami. So that will look to be the Heisman favorites. Real quick, before I forget, we're going to change the quarter lengths to 7. I'm going to start it at 6 and we'll bump it up to 7 if needed. Again, our sliders are still all the exact same as they were last year. Provided quite the test for us. So yeah, we will be doing that. Leaving those the exact same. I wanted to make the quarters change because if we look at the career stats here, like our quarterback threw for almost 5,000 yards. And was averaging 367 a game. While Brendan Lewis did play fairly well, that's still pretty unrealistic for a college quarterback to throw for that much as far as yardage goes. Especially our quarterback. So yeah, we will be making those tweaks, but let's dive into the preseason polls. So we got Alabama sitting at 1, Ohio State 2, Utah 3, NC State, K-State, USC, Miami, Michigan State, Oregon State, Oklahoma, Arkansas, UCLA, Cincinnati, LSU, Tennessee, Texas A&M, TCU, Arizona State, Auburn, Florida, Penn State, Colorado, Syracuse, and Wake Forest to round out the top 25. As you can see, we're still a 4 prestige school. However, we're 77 overall, 79 offense, and a 78 defense. So we still got a lot of room for improvement. But let's take a look at what our Pac-12 outlook looks like. So we'll start with just the Pac-12 overall. Utah currently sitting at number 1. I don't think anybody could argue that. But then you got USC sitting there at 2 as the 6th ranked team in the country. They're loaded with Caleb Williams back at quarterback. Oregon State there at 3, UCLA at 4, Arizona State at 5. And then we are currently sitting there at 6th with our 23rd ranking in the nation. So Arizona, Oregon, Cal, Washington, Stanford, and Washington State. So we're predicted to finish 6th in the conference. So overall, that looks good. But let's look at preseason All-Americans. So you got Caleb Williams at 1, Jahmyr Gibbs, Trayvon Henderson. We'll just briefly look through this. See if we got any guys there on first team. We do not. Second team, Bryce Young came back too. Wow, jeez. Alabama is loaded this year. So is Ohio State if they got Njigba back. Jeez. Let's see. How lucky is Alabama? They may have Will Anderson back. Not 100% certain. But as of right now, we do not have. Oh, Marvin Ham II is a second team preseason All-American at 70 overall. Again, huge regression over the course of the preseason or throughout spring ball. So, don't think he's going to live up to the second team All-American hype, but he could. Then Nico Reed will be that second team All-American preseason as well. So awesome stuff there. Let's check out what we got in the Pac-12. So as far as preseason first team, Ham, Nico Reed, as well as Trevor Woods. So everything looks good there. Second team, we got Brendan Lewis at quarterback. Other than that, though, just secondary, Tyron Taylor and Kalen Moore. Kalen Moore also saw huge regression. Probably won't see much of him this season. So, just with how kind of our depth charts been built out here. So, but with that kind of covers everything as far as the roster, preseason, everything of that sort. So, as far as my expectations here, as Coach Tomo for year 2, I'd expect anywhere from 8 to 10 wins, realistically. I think our defense has definitely drastically improved in the secondary, which is going to help us in this conference with majority of spread offenses. So I'm encouraged by that. However, I think our offense has a lot of unproven skill players. We have our quarterback returning, but we have a freshman running back, freshman number 1 receiver. While they do have talent, I do expect some growing pains from them. The offensive line is kind of in a little bit of a rebuild. We were able to acquire a JUCO tackle that's really going to, Lewis Harrison's really going to need to step up and play well for us at that right tackle position. Um, but yeah, no, it's offensive line. We had a huge turnover. So with that, we got guys on offense. I'd say our theme is people need to step up and play well. On from a defensive perspective, we returned more guys on that side of the ball. However, there are a handful of new starters on that side as well. That again, it's all about stepping up and playing well. Big roster turnover, as well as we're going to continue to turn over this roster as quickly as possible to start seeing that growth. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens here in year two. Like I said, I'm fucking stoked, baby, for year two of Buffs Dynasties. Hope you guys are as well. So with that, that is our preseason episode. Get ready for week one coming at you tomorrow. And with that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless. Take care. Peace out.